guys, it's Ann with What's Up Homestead, and I was going to show you my garden. I had a video from last week, but I haven't had a chance to post it, so I'm just going to do a new video. I've got a new grandson today, so he's not coming home till tomorrow, so I thought I would do a little garden tour because I won't be able to do one in the next couple days. So I'll turn you around and show you what's happening. I wanted to show you my onions. Some of them are small, some of them are a little bit bigger, but they've already fallen over. I'll show you the other ones in there, but I've got so many that it's not going to be a problem. And I like to use some small onions because sometimes I don't use a whole onion and I have to put some in the refrigerator, so it'll be perfect. But I find that the majority of the onions that have fallen over already are the white ones. And I found these buckets, and I had my husband drill some holes in them, and I'm going to put some stuff in here. I don't know whether I want to do maybe a cucumber or a squash. I don't know yet, but I filled those up, and I'm going to fill my watering can up that is broken, and I'm going to throw some flowers in there. Okay, there's my flowers and my potatoes, and my apples are coming along pretty good, even though I'm still picking off some fire blight. Hopefully, at least these apples will grow, I hope. I have some in the front yard that I'm hoping will go all the way before they get a disease or get something like a worm in there. And I've got dill growing, and I planted some seeds in here, but I only see a couple little plants. But I do have some cilantro, more cilantro that I planted, and this dill is coming up. So hopefully I'll have lots of dill when my cucumbers come in. So I'll show you what all is growing in here, and everything is growing like crazy. I want to show you this part over here. I had just dirt, and I had some pea gravel from Lowe's. I need to get some more, but of course they're all out and they're not getting any more in for a while, so at least it covers the whole thing and it makes it look nice. And I've got my tools over there, and I've got some stakes, and you can see my compost over there. And then I had my husband, he put the hose hanger up there, so it makes the hose look nice and neat. And I've got this all cleaned up, and I put an extra, I don't know what it is because I don't know where the tag is, but it's a squash or a zucchini, and I know that is the shishito pepper, and it's got some little buds on there. There's my thyme, and my peppers are doing pretty good. They're slow growing, but I did see that I have, I don't know if I can get in there close enough. There we go. I have an Anaheim. Most of these I started from seed, but that one I didn't. And I'm also trying something where somebody said to pinch off the leaves, not the leaves, but the buds, to make it bushier. So I'm trying it just on this one. And this is the sweet banana pepper. And I'm going to see if it'll make it a little bit bushier. But the rest I'm just going to let go. But I've got the red Mercury, the red Jersey Night, got some big Berthas, and a Habanada, and a Nata Pino. So the plants are growing pretty good, but I'm not seeing anything yet. I thought I was doing good on time, but then you go back to your Facebook and your memories and you see that you've already gotten a lot of other stuff. I got a lot of squash last year already, and my squash is just now coming on. But I don't see a lot of bees. Do you guys see a lot of bees in your garden? I have only seen 2 or 3 bees. But luckily these tomatoes don't have to have bees, and they're doing good. I've got some pretty good size ones on here. Right here, sorry about the noise. I live on a highway, not a busy highway, but it's still noisy. I've gotten a lot of aphid infestation everywhere. That's really the only problem I see so far. My rosemary is going crazy. I need to trim that back. And my flowers, I'm gonna have to trim those back too because they are crowding my herbs. I have some chives in here. We'll see some weeds I need to get. I've got some lemon balm back there, and I've got some oregano. But the oregano looks like it's dying. It did that last year. But some of it still lives, so I'm not sure what's going on there. If you know, comment down below and let me know if yours does the same thing. I might have to cut that back too. And I still have some kale. And I was covering it up, but I'm like, I don't have time for that, so I need to harvest this. Probably in the morning I'll come out here. And I did get some of my hanging baskets and put them on these hooks that I've had here for a couple years, and I haven't ever hung anything on there, but I do have a flower. Sorry for the lighting. It's just about sundown. And I've got these dollar calibrachoa that I put in there, and I've been feeding them, so hopefully they will start flowering again. But for $1 you can't beat it. Got one here, and I've got those little Dollar Tree signs, welcome, on here. And I've got another one down there. I've got tomatillos that I've grown for the first time this year, and they've took off. Got some stray sunflowers from last year that they just, I guess the birds, or maybe when they just reseeded themselves. I pulled up a bunch of them that was over here, and they were shading on my plants, and I put them in black pots, and I just put them in the shade and kept watering them, and now they're good. So I think that's what I'm going to do, put them back in here and just leave them in the pots. These are pretty large, so I'm probably going to leave them in here, but I don't know if they will shade the tomatillos. But I've just been watching, and I don't see that happening right now. I don't know what that is. Is that friend or foe? Let me know. I don't know whether that's ladybug or something else. Another big sunflower. And another one here. In front of my beets, that might be one that I have to pull up. I don't know, but the beets, I did harvest like 5 or 6, but the rest of them are still kind of small, so I'm just going to keep those. I think I'm going to stop fertilizing them. I fertilized them today, so I think that'll probably be my last time, because I don't want them to grow more leaves. I want the root to grow. And more sunflowers. I think there's a pepper back there, but I don't remember what it is. And that is a sun gold tomato. And this one, I can't really see. That is an Amish paste. So I'm going to have to redo the tags. But I have been taking some of the limbs, or the stems, off and put them in water. And I've already got one that has roots on it. The other one is not yet, but that way I can have some for the fall. And my garlic, I have been kind of sticking my finger down there, and I couldn't ever feel anything. I did today, and it's like very small. but they're still upright, so I'm just gonna leave it. I've never grown garlic before, so we shall see if I get any good ones. And I know I've still got a while, so I'm just gonna leave that there. They're a little bit yellow, some of the leaves, but I'm just gonna let it grow. And I've got potatoes out here. They're doing really good. And I've got my first sunflower. Hopefully when I come out here in the morning, I'll have a lot of bees on it. So I was hoping that that'll help with the pollinators. But I did pull the sunflowers up out of my garden and just plant them there, and they look like they were dying, and now they've came back, so I didn't lose any of them. And I planted seeds in between there, so hopefully I'll get more sunflowers. And I'm just gonna leave that there because I've got the fabric on the bottom, so you can't really plant anything, but the potatoes, it'll work perfect for that because I'm just gonna keep the straw piled on there. And I've got the potatoes here. And you see, here's my onions, and some of them they're turning like yellow. I don't know whether I should have watered them, but most of the red ones and the yellow ones are still looking good, but it's only the white ones that are laid over. I'm just going to keep those there. But these back here are the ones I started from seed. All the ones from the middle to the right are all grown from seed, and the other ones are transplants I got at Lowe's. So either way, by the time I store these other ones will hopefully be big enough to put up. I bought some mesh bags from Amazon, and hopefully they'll store well. I've never really grown onions before, and I don't know if how long they'll store for me, but now that I look, I'm like, did I plant too many onions? I mean, I love onions and I eat them every day, but is this just too many? So these are my two favorite, potatoes and onions. So I don't really think you can have too many. And I've got, this was my lettuce bed, and I finally had to pull it out. I tasted some of it the other day, and it was just so bitter. It was just been so hot. So I think I'm going to start my seeds for the fall next month, and I'm just going to use all romaine lettuce. Those are my Swiss chard. They're still hanging in there. I might get a couple more cuttings out of that, and I think I'm going to put more beans in there. I've only got one bed with beans in it, and that's all I have. I think what I'll do is when I get the kale gone, I'm going to put some cucumbers over there in that spot. And even though it's hot, these collard greens are going strong. And my dilemma with my cabbage. It looks like it's forming a head, but then when you mash on it, it's not that firm. And I've got, this bed is full of it, full of cabbage. It's too hard to pull this thing back, but I'm hoping that by July I will have lots of cabbage. And if I don't, I'll just pull them up, give them to the chickens, and start seeds for the fall. And here I have squash. I had 3 or 4, but I think they were not pollinated. They were really small, and well, they were the same size, but they were kind of mushy. This one was the only one that wasn't, so I just left it. And hopefully with the bees coming out, I'll have some more. I just made some for dinner the other day. I had to buy some, but They were so good fried, so I can't wait. And this one, I don't have them tagged because I had the cups out here with the name on it and they rubbed off. But these two are zucchini. And I can't remember the names of these, but this is like the light colored one. I got the seeds from Baker Creek. Pretty sure all three of these. And this one is looking good. I might pick those in the morning. That thing is loaded down. And I had a lemon squash here, and the chickens or something ate it. So I put a seed there, and that one's growing. And now here is my cucumbers. They finally started to take off, and this is the biggest one I have down here. And those are, I think I have mostly National Pickling, because those are the only ones that did good as seeds. And I think I've got a Chicago Pickling, National Pickling, and I think that's it. I planted a DAR over there, but it didn't come up, so I'm going to replant another seed over there where the sunflower is. Hopefully I can plant some more cucumbers later. And I think I'm going to plant another squash, just in case the bugs take over. And I've got a stray zinnia in here. I think I'll keep that. This whole bed was zinnias last year. And here are my okra. They're going really slow. Hopefully I'll have time to get some before. I'm pretty sure I will, because our season, I think I had okra well into October before we had a freeze. And this is my compost. I've got to get some buckets to put it in there, because this thing is tearing up and it doesn't have any holes in it, so it's just sitting in the water. This is a burpless bush cucumber, and I also planted a seed that's a burpless bush, so we'll have two of them in there. And the rest of my potatoes, that one back there is looking a little peaked. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it needs water, especially since it's in this pot. It might need more water, so I think I will water that. Probably wait till in the morning. Okay, that's the tour for this week. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully next week I'll have some squash and zucchini out of here and frying that up, and some onions and maybe some potatoes. You never know, but I'm waiting for that tomato sandwich. So I'll see you next time.